Hey, is this Dan?
It sure is. How are you?
Dan, it's Bob over here at Dog Global. Thanks for taking time for us.
And,
Appreciate it.
and I've got Miss Laura up. Hey, the lady Laura right here beside me.
Oh, no way. We got a bonus here, huh?
Yep.
All right, Bob.
How are you guys today?
We are wonderful.
Thank you. Great to
Cool.
be here.
Well, let me let you know what we're doing here. Basically, I work for Dog Global Radio Network. I'm going to take our interview and I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to break into sound bites and send to all of our affiliate stations around the country.
Beautiful. How many
Nice.
will it go to, Bob?
We have thousands of stations around the country, so that's pretty big.
I
We are a huge radio network now.
like your style.
Amazing.
So yeah, we're a good thing here. So, all right, let me start it all off here. Let's get this going here.
All
Dial
right.
Global Radio Networks welcomes to the program Dan and Laura Dotson from Storage Wars, one of the greatest shows on TV, and now we're going to get to see them on another fantastic TV show, Hot in Cleveland on TV Land. How you guys doing this morning?
Wonderful.
Doing
Thank you.
fantastic. Thanks for having us, Bob.
It is a pleasure. Now, how did this happen? Because this is a fantastic little merger of the worlds here. You guys are playing yourselves on the show. You get to sort of have a little storage thing going
Lights
on with
on.
Betty White's character on in Cleveland. And what do you guys? How did you guys get tied up into this? Was there somebody from the show that was a fan of you guys and reached out to you?
Absolutely. Well, we
Exactly.
understand that the folks at TV Land thought it would be a great episode, so they absolutely got a hold of A&E, and we're really proud that we get to do the crossover with these networks, and
Absolutely.
just absolutely proud. The whole thing just happened because we started putting stuff on YouTube, and before you know it, the news agencies picked us up, and we had 27 production companies contacted us in 18 months. And Tom Beers, Laura prayed to God he'd come around, and there he did in 3 weeks. And he was number 16, and we couldn't be happier with the results.
Now, you guys are used to having your show, which obviously has done really well, and you guys are used to the routine. What is it like going to another show that that has these actors on it and scripted and there's an audience and all that fun stuff? How is that for you guys compared to what you normally do?
Good morning, good morning. Oh, I can tell you, absolutely, this was absolutely a feather and dance in my cap.
It's a treat, wasn't it?
This was a treat. Danny and I, when we heard Hot in Cleveland, I just went crazy. And Danny says, oh my gosh, I get to work with Valerie Bertinelli, and I couldn't believe it. And Betty White, and Jay Levis and Wendy Malick. And I said, this is crazy. Then when we got there, John Lovitz was there. And I said, you know what? I think I could do this. I really like this.
No, we had a great time with them. Those ladies were just treated us like rock stars and $1 million, and they couldn't be funnier. I think they're trippier in person than they are on film. That's what I'm thinking.
Funny ladies.
Well, tell us about the episode. Tell us what we're going to see and what your particular role is in this particular episode.
Great.
Well, Laura and I get to play ourselves, and that makes it pretty easy for us. It's going to be on May 16th, 10 o'clock, Hot in Cleveland on TV Land, and this episode's called Storage Wars. We can't tell you too much about it, but I can tell you that these gals, they go in and they buy a storage unit, and they find some pretty amazing stuff, and they have a lot of fun with it, and that's one of the stories that's going along within this episode.
It looks so exciting. We're very excited.
I think it's going to be funny as hell. I think it's going to go down as one of those cult classics.
Oh my God, how much fun is that? So, how is your show going, by the way? How's Storage Wars? How's your thing going on right now?
We're doing great. We're on season 3. We're about half done filming that. We couldn't be happier. Laura and I have started this company called StorageTreasures.com. It's a national auction portal, and people all over the United States can figure out how to buy these storage units and where they're at, and message boards and forums. They can, risk less of their money if they're more educated. And our company, American Auctioneers, is just doing great guns. We've got about 13 auctioneers. We're handling the western part of the United States, and the show's just going great guns, and we just couldn't be happier.
It's such an amazing little fascination that's going on. Who would have thought that so much money can be taken from these storage units and abandoned for one reason or another? What are some of the more memorable things you sort of found within one of these units?
Boy, this has been really exciting for us. I've been doing this for 16 years
have
and
to
my
talk
husband
on it
for
like that.
38. And the things that we have seen in just, this short of a time has been crazy. Like, for instance, one of them was a Titanic menu. Sold the dresser, and underneath the bottom drawer of the dresser was a Titanic menu. So when the gentleman pulled it out, he was going to sell the dresser. He took the drawers out to help load it up. All of a sudden, this menu fell out. It turned out to be worth $50,000. Another one, just recently, I sold a unit, and the gentleman bought it. It had one single trunk in it for $400. And believe it or not, that trunk was full of $1,220 bills with the face cut out of every bill. And we thought, oh my gosh, is this real money? He took it to the bank, and they gave him, 24,000.
And he got $800 for his trunk.
Yeah.
It's not destroyed as money. It's still valued as money.
Right. Both serial numbers were there, and they accepted it.
The storage facilities try not to go in the units. The more reputable ones, about 3 weeks before the sale, they will go in there, Bob, and they'll cut the locks and they'll inventory it from the door. Our company does that with a video camera and 2 sets of eyeballs. And the only time we go in is if there's a meth lab, a gun, a vehicle that needs to get a number off of. The rest of the time, everybody stays out of the thing until it's sold. Same way we sell it is the same way they're inventoried. So.
Here's my problem, and tell me if you had this. I'm sure it has to have happened several times to you guys. I would go into one of these things and see something that's so cool. I'd be like, I don't want to sell it.
It's absolutely a conflict of interest for us to bid against our buyers. And, every time there's a good unit, I wouldn't want our buyers to think, well, the Dotsons are just going to buy it. So we really don't have any interest in buying units. Back in the 80s and the early 90s, I bought units at an auction house. And I figured out pretty quick that it was kind of a conflict of interest for us to buy and sell.
Well, you guys have had a fascinating journey, and I wish I could talk to you forever. There's so many questions I do have, but the good part is I do get to see you this week on TV Land on Hot in Cleveland, and we've been happily joined by Dan and Laura Dotson. Thank you so much for your time, both of you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. The Storage Wars is going to come on premiere June 5th on
Tuesday nights, 10 Central
on
A&E.
Yeah.
Can't,
I know where I'll be on TV.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
See you on Hot in Cleveland tomorrow night, folks.